thank you again for taking the time for toofab. We always love catching up with teen moms, and I am enjoying this new iteration of it, the next chapter. Just for you, I guess, what makes this different? What does set it apart when it comes to filming, or does it feel very similar to OG?
Filming feels very similar. I think the one of the biggest changes for me that I appreciate is that it shows more of like the girls in our relationship and how we are actually like friends on and off camera. And so instead of just, maybe seeing a girls trip, you actually see how we do communicate on a regular basis and do, share things with each other like real friends do. It's just like long
Mhm.
distance friendships instead, which I actually have a lot of long distance friendships that aren't even a part of the show. And then also, obviously, the cast is much larger. So it's not, just
Yeah.
4 or 5 girls anymore. And that means that our group chat is nuts all the time. So that's definitely a difference too.
So it has kept up. The group chat has continued
Oh
since
yeah.
we
Oh
saw
yeah.
it in the
I've
premiere.
had to like mute it while I've been doing interviews today because everybody, I can't keep up sometimes. I'm like, okay, everybody's talking at once. What's going on?
And for you, since you guys, you are talking so much, how much of what is on the show is a surprise to you? Like, for viewers, especially, I think the Cheyenne stuff from the premiere, the shooting was a shock. But like, is that something you had all talked about, or are you learning some things as well as you're watching?
There are definitely still things I'm learning as I'm watching, especially about the newer cast members
Mm,
who I previously wasn't on a regular season show with.
yeah.
But for the most part, as far as Amber, Caitlin, and Cheyenne, um, we kind of all know everything about each other before, sometimes even before we film about it. So
Mm.
it's usually I'm never surprised when it comes to their experiences or stories.
Mm. And for you, how does Bentley feel about being on the show now? How has his maybe relationship with the series changed over time as he's come to kind of understand what Teen Mom is? I'm sure his friends now understand what the show is. Is that changing? Always changing?
I think I will say I think it kind of always stays the same in a sense that since he was on born on TV and has been on TV his whole life,
Yeah.
and even like crew, like camera operators, audio mixers, like they've been, they're just family now.
Yeah.
So I think it will always hold that normalcy for him. But I also think that I'm surprised by this, and I could be wrong. A year from now, I could be like, "Yep, you totally read that wrong." But I think in today's world with social media and influencers and all the things, I feel like he's actually becoming more appreciative of the platform and the work that it
Mm.
takes to make a TV show and the courage it takes for someone like me to put my whole life out there and courage for him because he shared a lot of things on the show.
Yeah.
So now, like I said, a year from now, I could be like, yep, I was wrong. He actually freaking hates it. And we're done. but if of all the conversations and things we talk about and just things here and there that I notice, I think he's coming to appreciate it as much as he can.
Yeah.
It's so annoying for him sometimes, but he knows he doesn't have to film or even wear a microphone if he doesn't want to. That's always been the case, and production's always done a really good job of letting the kids, no matter how big, small, old, young, uh, if they don't want to film, they're not filming, and that's it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So
And I know, the trailer for this season, it shows you having concerns about him maybe getting on social media. How tricky is it for you to navigate that? Knowing he is kind of a public persona just from being on the show.
Oh man, no, it's super tricky. I have no idea what I'm doing. Neither does Taylor. You know, growing like even when I first started this show, there was no Instagram, there was no
Yeah.
TikTok. I mean, truly only people that had like really good internet connection could get on YouTube. Smartphones were just becoming a thing. So I mean, besides MySpace and Zanga, like
Yeah.
social media wasn't a factor when I was growing up and going through my teenage years. Um, so really, I have no like we have no clue what we're doing. There's no like, oh well, my parents did this and I want to do that, or my parents did this, so I want to do it differently. There's none. There's no
Yeah.
reference. So it's definitely tricky. But I feel like as long as um, our conversation stays open and I make sure to keep that a safe space. Um, it's I don't have any really bad feelings about it. There are obvious fears and stuff,
Yeah.
but that would come with any child, whether they're on TV or not.
Mm.
So no, we're riding the wave together. We'll see how it goes.
See how it goes.
No promises. I can't promise anything.
And I've watched OG since the beginning. We've seen, you and Ryan, just how everything kind of went it's the way that it did, especially in the last season. Have things improved at all when it comes to co-parenting or dealing with his family? Because I know last we saw it was basically communication was limited to just being about, Bentley.
I mean, Ryan and I we truly have not had a relationship like at all for years, probably
Yeah.
4 years. Like, I don't have his phone number.
Oh,
No
wow.
doubt he has mine. Don't see each other, don't talk to each other. So when we were filming the past few seasons, it just got to a point where it's like, I find it awkward that I'm talking about somebody that I don't talk to. Like,
Mm,
it's weird. But and it remains that way. We do not have a relationship. But the relationship with Jen and Larry is definitely not what it used to be like in the past years, but
yeah,
it's definitely not, I would not say it's anywhere close to how we left the reunion.
that's
Um,
good.
it's it's cordial in a genuine way. It's not a fake, hey, good to see you. Oh my God, I hate
Yeah.
them. It's a genuine, we can have small talk. I feel like we're all comfortable with where it's at right now. It's not forced. It's not bull crap, but it's pleasant. It's
Yeah.
I don't I don't I'm not like, oh my God, I have to see them.
Yeah. No,
So
it's tricky, but I think fans
that
will at least be happy to hear that.
yeah, I feel like it's in a good place. I feel like it's a comfortable space, and I think we're all good with where it's at right now.
Good. And my last question I had for you is just, we know Janelle came back very briefly. Only Brianna and Jade saw her. How do you feel about that? Would you have wanted to see her, or are you kind of glad? Like, I know some of your other castmates I spoke to were okay that they weren't part of that.
Um, I'm not trying to be rude, truly, but like I will okay not being a part of that too, but not for any specific reason, just mainly
Yeah.
because Janelle and I think we've only even met a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's
Different shows.
it's not like we were friends and something happened or even worked together because we were on different casts
Yeah.
for the whole time. So I don't know. I just felt like I don't even have like a dog in that race.
Which is
Never
fine.
had, so, like, it's fine with me. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't change my life anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you as always, Macy, for your time. Good luck with everything this season. We will be watching.
Thank you so much.